What's good, y'all? It's kennykamz here. We are officially at 1,000 subscribers. I know to a lot of people that might not seem like a lot, but on the channel that I've literally done all by myself, I've had no marketing or promotion on it. Just putting out videos. It's an accomplishment for me. It was one of those goals that I set when I first started the channel. If you didn't know, like 1,000, that's when you can get monetized. So like, it was now it can be actually become a part-time job, which is cool. But I wanted to talk about a few things. Chicago specifically. So I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We have very close ties with Chicago. In my like late college years, early like late mid-20s, so post-college, I was working music-wise with some artists in Chicago. And I got a better sense of what the gang culture that we see, like the Trap Lord Ross, that I mentioned a lot, but he did a really good job, like kind of documenting all of this. I think he did a better job than academics because it came from a different angle than academics. Academics was hyping it. Granted, that was during when it was all happening. But I think Trap Lord Ross more explains the story. It's a more narrative form. But Chicago is a city that has so much corruption. So much corruption. And I'm sorry about that, y'all. I think I figured out what it is now. Chicago is a city with so much corruption in the politicians, and then if you watch the show The Wire is basically Chicago, from top to bottom of how it works. So, and that's in every major city. So, it's not just a Chicago thing, but in Chicago it's exasperated because it's a lot more people than most cities, especially it's a big black population. From like the Great Migration North and all of that stuff, from like the Mississippis and the Arkansas and the Louisianas. Like Milwaukee, Chicago, Detroit, it was all kind of those resting places. So it's a very big black population in Chicago. And just recently, a guy that is what you can define as crazy, probably homeless, I'm guessing, and as well had 45 or 47 arrests in this, actually burned a woman on the subway alive. On the train alive. So let's watch a video from Fox quick, and then I'll give my thoughts on it.
On fire aboard a Chicago train is due back in court today. He faces a federal terrorism charge. His name is Lawrence Reed. He has been arrested more than 4 dozen times, 9 of those times for felonies, according to local outlets. But he was released in August for aggravated battery with just an ankle monitor. Paul Morrow is a Fox News contributor, former NYPD inspector, and of course an attorney. How does someone like this, that has this rap sheet, okay, I understand people that want to be reformers. I used to be one. Yeah. But when you got, a rap sheet like a CVS receipt, yeah, it's time to keep him behind bars, right?
Yeah, I mean, it really is, especially when you consider that he had the ankle bracelet on and he was in violation of the terms of the ankle bracelet. What good is the bracelet if nobody's monitoring it, right? So obviously that's all just fluff. Look, the bottom line here is this, and I constantly make this point whenever I can. There's a small segment of society. We're not talking, excuse me, about coming down like a ton of bricks on everybody who runs afoul of the law, all right? We're talking about a specific segment of society that, were we to finally recognize they are incorrigibles, perhaps due to mental illness. I get that. They have to be, I'm sorry, they have to be isolated from the rest of society, not only for our sake, but for their own sake. And so what drives me crazy is that I just testified in the House Judiciary down in Congress on Blue City crime. And I went with all of these bipartisan hopes that I had policies laid out and statistics, stuff that we had done here in New York under Democrat administrations that not only brought down crime, brought down the incarceration rate. Nobody really wants to hear it, all right? The Democrats were holding up pictures of Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein from 30 years ago. It was not a serious undertaking. And it's just the idea that we can just arrest ourselves out of all these problems is what they always go to. And that's not what cooler heads are proposing. There is a segment that needs help, and it would help us so that women are not set on fire on our subways.
Meanwhile, the mayor of Chicago is saying that it was isolated. Let's watch.
This is an isolated incident. I mean, I don't see this as some sort of trend. And again, the level of accountability that has to happen in this moment, I trust that the federal level will do its part.
Like, what is he talking about?
Isolated. First of all, we had the same thing in New York last year, right? Somebody who got set on fire. This is the kind of thing that, should shock the conscience anywhere. You know what he should do if he was being more mature and statesmanlike about this? I understand that he's against Donald Trump. He doesn't want Donald Trump to bring the feds there or the National Guard. But the feds have extended powers over our transportation systems, all right?
So I know this is a delicate topic for some people, and it's because it's a more of a survivor's guilt here, especially from black people, because I've dealt with this a lot in my life. Like, yes, I'm from Milwaukee, but I don't speak like the typical person you would hear in Milwaukee. So it's for many reasons. It does have a reason with the high school I went to, an environment I was in, and sports too. So I was, around different cultures and different people and different socioeconomic levels and all of that. But in Chicago, just like in Milwaukee, just like in Detroit, it's a class of people that we don't want to qualify and we don't discuss after high school. And people make jokes about it, but it's the IEP class. The intellectually deficient classes that people that we have in the major cities, and they become adults and they have kids, and I'm gonna speak later, a little bit later in this video, on the kids aspect of it, because I'm gonna show the video from the parents' response to those kids beating up their mom and her kids. It's a level that, like, they're not on the level intellectually of the average human. I say this in the most direct type way, like a clinical type way. It's a retardation of a lot of inner city code, and it's in the trailer parks too. So people say, like, you just talking about black people. No, it's in the white trailer parks too. It's in every culture, but it's a segment that we like to ignore and act like. And the powers that be like to keep that class that way because, one, they're very easy to sway with simple messaging because they don't have critical thinking ability. Because I always sit and think, right? I grew up in the hood, like 53209, Atkinson Street, Atkinson and Capitol, Atkinson and Roosevelt, Atkinson and 27th Street, Hot Spot, all that. And my family's from that neighborhood. But I never really had I got to be out drilling mentality. When we were growing up, it was kids that was on that. Like, one of my best friends as a kid was on that. And then he would do that, and then he become hoop with us, and then, you know what I mean? But then once we got to about high school age, and it kind of made the drastic separation. And even I look back to him, it comes from his family life. It was his mama that was on it, that was in the streets. I don't even know if I ever met dog dad, but his uncle was, one of the cats in the neighborhood that would get drunk and get high and cause havoc and stuff. But, like, his mama was on it, and we was like close friends too. And in high school we kind of separated because that's when it got into the, like, level of, okay, this is getting real. Like, you got to make your choice for both sides on that. But it's a level of, as I look at even his mama, it's a level of intellect that's just, if you are still engaging in, like, trivial shit, like, if you are fighting and willing to shoot and willing to do all that for trivial shit, what do I mean by trivial shit? Like, old girl was talking to her man, now she mad and she gonna go fight her, and, like, that's a disease, bro. Like, that's a level of human that I just can't connect with. And I'm starting to realize more and more that that's a bigger segment of society than the academically inclined black person wants to actually admit. And I'm one of the academically inclined. Like, I graduated my master's in spring. This spring, I got 2 classes left, and I graduated my master's in spring in community and organizational leadership. Like, so this is something that I study. It's not just a opinion or a random. I actually study this for a living. I do this for a living. I've been in social services for like 15 years. So it's not just like a random dude on the internet with a opinion. Like, this is a very, very researched and experience-driven opinion that I'm forming from what I've saw for the last 15 years and also what I studied on the academic side. And it does come down to the hierarchy of needs and all of that, and other needs aren't being met so that the academic side can't even take place. But we're going to play a video quick with the parents in Chicago from this response to what the parents did. The response the parents had of the kids that actually beat up the mom and the parent. So let's check this out.
The parents for not doing a better job in raising them.
I'm going to be the one to say it because ain't nobody else going to say it. But to all the parents of those Chicago kids that jumped that mother and her two babies, y'all need to be at court on Monday.
Children like that, I'm going to beat your ass. I'm not going to even lie to you. Don't come to me in these goddamn comments talking about some, oh, children, this and this. Man, I'm going to beat the out of a child. I don't give a damn. Bitch, I'm going to hold a child accountable because I'm going to beat your ass. And then guess what? I'm going to say, what the your mama at? I'm going to walk to the door and I'm going to beat her ass.
Reportedly, one of the connected parents would speak out about her daughter being involved. On a Facebook post, she would write, "Let me say this first. My daughter is a great ass kid. She's an AB student, captain of the cheerleading team, ahead of her class, and some more shit. All good things from every teacher. If you know, you know. We don't owe nobody an apology but that lady and her kids. So y'all all grown mother effers looking for a viral moment. Please shut the F up, cause kids gonna be kids. And it's kids out here that did way worse shit. Let alone y'all ass when y'all was 12 and 13 years old. Y'all ass used to be out here beating up crackheads and all. Y'all don't know us at all. She was peer pressured. If you know my family, you know if we find a friend and a mother effer, and we gonna stand behind them 100% no matter what. But this is definitely a lesson learned. She was held accountable for her actions. Y'all talk about it takes a village. She got a castle, the F, and everybody standing 10 toes behind her. I was never gonna go live making y'all mother effers feel no type of way. Once again, we do not owe y'all no apology. F y'all. Mother effers know what's going on in real life and know my kids not raised like that at all. Feel how y'all want. F y'all." Now, of course, this strong response from the alleged mother would cause other parents to be upset, as one user would respond back with, "You can't even come on this app as a parent of a child who just committed a crime and show remorse to that family. You're defending your child and trying to save her character when you should be giving her consequences to her actions. It's always my kid is a great kid after they committed a crime. Your child made the first viral moment, and this shady, ratchet, distasteful post by you created the second viral moment. Instead of trying to save face, go handle your kid and make up what she did to that woman and her two beautiful kids. People be killing me trying to play victim after they were the ones who created the issue." Now, it would appear that the alleged child of that mother would later take to social media to issue a tearful apology. The video will start off with a family friend warning viewers to be respectful because a young girl is a child.
Add the perfect touch of tart to sweet holiday memories. Simply, say yes to simple.
We're just coming live so she can say her piece and take accountability. I won't say too much. And please, anyone that decides to say anything, keep it respectful. This is the child.
Hey, my name is Kamira Grant, and I was wrong for everything. I wish I would never did what I did.
Now, after the apology, some assumed the woman in the video was the girl's mother, which would cause her to issue a series of messages about her connection and why she's involved. One thing about it, I'm solution-oriented, and I'm not afraid to get in the field the right way. I physically put my body and freedom on the line for black people, so the comments, requests, and messages are seen, but don't phantom me. I actually care about the woman, her children, and all the kids. Resources have poured for the woman and her children as they should. However, although this is not my child, what are
This is so disappointing to me, dog. Like, this is so disappointing to me for multiple reasons. It's insane to me how people will try to justify the way that we actually behave, dog. Like, think about this from rap, and like that's all for attention. And I need to have a guest on to even kind of dive into this, because why are, and it can't just be low education. Low education is like a degradation. Our ancestors are rolling in their damn grave. Even the slaves, they're rolling in their grave of what their future generations look like right now. Like it's such a dumbed down. Like, and the thing, I don't like to pile on black women on this, but I wouldn't have thought that, seen that and be like, man, I'm gonna beat all them kids' ass. That's a specifically black woman attitude, to be so fat, so fast to violence. Why? Why are you gonna beat them kids' ass? The beating their ass is the thing that's got them to want to fight other kids. You need to talk to those kids. You need to show them kids you care. You need to show up for them kids. The reason the kids in Chicago are acting like that is because they have no respect for adults, because the adults that they see in their life are trash. And these kids are smart. They may not be book smart. They may not be able to read, but they are they have very good pattern recognition and very good perception of what's actually happening. And they see these shitty mamas and these deadbeat dads, and they see it, and they don't have no respect for y'all. That's why they don't listen to their teachers. That's why when people like me are working with them in a professional setting, it's so hard to get them to focus and get them to pay attention, and they have to buy into me before I be able to even teach them anything. And it's frustrating because the academics of the world only want to blame white people. That's all I saw in my comments from my last video on Chicago stuff is, oh, well, you just parroting the white narrative or what's. I'm like, man, shut up. Shut up. I don't want to hear it no more. I don't want to hear it. I'm done with that, bro. I'm done with all of that. Like, it's not white people's stuff. This is our problem, and we got to handle it. And y'all is the one fooling and faking and trying to virtue signal us. Like, this is a problem. This is a really big problem. And it's too late to address at this point. And it's not no small segment. Like, get out of that delusional imagination world unless you're actually go to any this message right here is for public school teachers. If you are a public school teacher in any inner city black neighborhood teaching black kids, in the comments, I want you to tell a story about stuff like this you saw. And I don't care what city you from, because this is happening around the country, and y'all need to hear it from the teachers that spend more time with the kids than the parents. And I get why they burnt out. If you are a teacher, or if you are a social worker, if you are a case manager, type in the comments and let these people actually know what we are dealing with and what is actually on the forefront for the black community. I might keep doing shows on this because I think it's that important. But yeah, y'all, it's Kenny Kamz. I'm out. Appreciate you. I think my heat went off. It was a couple stuff that sound wise that might have messed it up, but I appreciate y'all. But this is a problem. I don't mean to make this is a problem, y'all, that has to be addressed. It's Kenny Kamz, y'all. I'm out. Peace.